Aries Rising, my little firecrackers of the universe. Welcome to your February 2016 Astrological Forecast, created by Georgia Dempsey of Soul Passages Astrology. This is a general focus reading. If you have a specific issue going on in your life and you need some tailored advice, feel free to use the information at the beginning of my video and I will match your exact natal chart to give you an in-depth reading. And I am going to be doing a special from now until March 1 where I'm going to give an hour-long reading for $50, which is an absolutely awesome deal. So if you are interested, give me a call. And we want to start off with the February thing because, wow, stuff is really rolling for you right now. Mergers and getting to the bottom of what motivates you and your closest partners are themes for February. This is true because you've got Mars in Scorpio and it is sizzling up your 8th house. And that rolls over intimacy, other people's money, and even mysteries behind the veil, and including life-transforming passages. So big things like life, birth, death, sex, taxes, taboos, things like that. Big, big things. So you should be feeling a lot of passion in your life right now. You have got basically the X factor going on, and it is steaming up your 8th house matters. So, interesting way to start February come the 3rd. Martian themes that could unfold for you include the following. You could be experiencing a hostile takeover at work, possibly, or maybe a business merger. Just depends on how things are panning out for you. And one of the reasons I say that is because with Mars, it's the god of passion, the god of war. There's a lot of drive and desire there. And so certainly an urge to merge with Mars and Scorpio and to get to the bottom of things psychologically. But Mars can also rule cutting or severing or surgery. And so it just kind of depends on how you're handling all of that passion and heat in your life right now, how it's going to pan out. But this Mars is going to be sextiling a whole bunch of very powerful planets located up in your 10th house of career, including Pluto in Capricorn. And that's an ass kicker. Anytime you've got Pluto being triggered off in your chart, that's a true ass-kicking situation. So you could be having lots of drive and energy right now to increase your 401k or your pension. And being successful will entail figuring out not only what motivates you, but what motivates your closest partners. Because this also rolls over joint finances. And that includes financing with business partners, close business partners, as well as lovers. Now, speaking of love, a steamy romance at work that you've been trying to keep secret behind closed doors could also go public as Mars beams a light onto that Pluto, Mercury, and Venus all lined up into your house of career. So you want to just be mindful of that. And Mars is conjunct Juno. Juno's a female asteroid, and she rules over all things feminine. So stuff like marriage, childbirth, commitments, things of that nature. So, again, are you going into business with someone and making a strong commitment? Maybe you're making a commitment to a lover, and that goes public. or maybe some intimacy issue like getting pregnant is going to go public. Somehow I see some big news, and it's on a very well-lit and displayed part of your life, your outward image to the world. So with that being said, you do want to be really careful that if you have something going on behind closed doors that you don't want to get out, just to be careful about that right now. So anyhow, financial gains that could be quite transformative for you could also be forthcoming with some long-term contracts in the offering. You could also find yourself with this Juno energy making a very strong alliance to a female business partner. And again, that's that Juno energy coming through. So just keep that in mind. With Pluto conjunct Venus up there in your 10th house, you do have the power to attract what you desire. And with that Capricorn energy up there, you can also make it very solid. I do get the sense of, again, something coming public because Mercury, the planet of communications, is also circulating up there as well. Now, with Pluto conjunct Venus, there can be some strong desire energy, even a little bit of obsessive energy, and possibly, if you don't have it harnessed well, some overbearing energy at work. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to, of course, be overbearing at work. It's better to have soul power, internal power, than power over other people. That's where our real strength comes in, is when we have mastery or power over ourselves. So whatever's going on for you, it is going to take some guts to pull it off. On February 3rd, I say this because Mars will be trining Chiron, the wounded healer, in your 12th house in Pisces. So you may have to muster some of your warrior energy to go after what you want. And be assertive. You may need to share some very deep emotions with someone, and that could scare you. You may also need to just be careful how you put forth that energy, that intimacy energy, because with Chiron on the 12th, it does concern me a little bit that, again, a secret could come out. You could have somebody working behind the scenes trying to get out a secret. And also, just to work on healing yourself on a spiritual level. Would that help you somehow with your closest partnerships? Now, with your transiting Sun in Aquarius, sextiling Saturn in Sag, the structures that you're putting in place right now can help you to get where you want to be. So even if you're going through somewhat of a dark night of the soul because of some 9th house legal matters or feeling overburdened at school, you can trust that everything will work out okay. And I say that because on the 3rd, in your 9th house of legal matters, you do have Saturn conjunct the moon. So that lends a feeling of seriousness with emotions, seriousness with possibly court systems, or even with churches, things of that nature. So again, it could be I'm getting engaged, baptizing a kid, sealing the deal on the business thing, whatever that is. But be mindful of that. On February 6th, your 11th house transiting Sun will also be sextiling Uranus, which is currently in the fire sign of Aries, touring your 1st house. So, you Aries folks, you know what it's like to be a firecracker. You are, generally speaking, a firecracker in your life. And with Uranus and Aries, you're really being called forth, if you haven't already done it, to renovate yourself, to redo your image to the world, to let out perhaps some of the more unique and unusual aspects of your personality. And you've probably been going through this for several years, so if you haven't gotten out from under the barrel, it's time to do so. Let your light shine. But with this connection between the Sun and Uranus, you could have some changes in how you're going about some of your long-range plans and goals. That's one way. You might also be attracting some avant-garde friends or friends with unusual ideas that are lighting up and changing your hopes, dreams, and wishes a little bit. So those are some of the things on the horizon for you. And with that, Uranus and Aries, it is like you have rocket fuel strapped to your ass. So you want to make changes happen. I know how that feels. So it can be pretty inspiring, to say the least. On February 6th, your 10th house, Mercury, will be sending a friendly beam of light called a trine to Jupiter in Virgo, which is currently sitting in your 6th house. So you could be seeing some very positive developments regarding your place of work right now. This could impact co-workers, it could impact unions, your daily schedule, your daily activities. It also rolls over pets and health. I call it the mind, body, spirit house. It's where we have our connection through all of those things with our inner self, which really impacts our health. Okay, so anyhow, I see some positive information coming in from that 10th house of career or that outward image to the world into that 6th house. So very exciting. And that can draw in good things for you. New acquaintances could be lucky. You could be plucking peach assignments at work right now or getting a better schedule, maybe even getting a promotion. And so, wow, that is totally exciting. Yeah. Okay, let's see where we are. Hold on here. Forgive me. Okay, with all this going on with Mercury trining your north node, that is also saddled up to your Jupiter in that house of work. So you really, truly have a great potential to manifest what you want at work right now, especially if you're doing work. And with Jupiter in Virgo, one of the things that's called for is industriousness. It is developing your job skills. It is learning the technical things that you need to do to get better at your position, or maybe even some teaching skills or writing skills. Things of that nature can be very helpful. Now, I do know that Jupiter is retrograde right now and will be till May 9th. So, you may still be seeing some positive rewards, getting some positive information, maybe not quite as big as you expected. Or this could be a time for you to rethink plans. How do I need to revise the work plan? How do I need to go back and look over the project? If I've been really working on my health, like I was mentioning, where do I stand and what do I need to do to tweak the plan so that I can lose the extra weight or get in better shape or switch my diet to more natural whole foods, for example. With this connection in the 6th house, you might even be planning to launch a business related on health matters. And with Jupiter in Virgo, that is perfect. Alternative health things, natural whole foods, mind, body, spirit practices like Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, yoga. All of these things are really highlighted right now. And with this energy pouring from the 10th to the 6th and back and forth, this could be a great time to launch a business in this area. And whatever it is you're working on down there in the 6th house, it probably has a little bit of a feeling of destiny associated with it because of that Jupiter North Node conjunction. So, if you've been working on your own health, this is another way to draw true luck into your life right now. And I laugh at the word luck because a lot of luck usually involves a good bit of hard work. But things like liver and gut cleanses, wow, that would be so powerful right now and such a healthy thing for you. So give that some consideration. Now on February 7th, the Sun in Aquarius will be squaring up to Mars. So you could be feeling pretty revved up right now. and your little firecrackers and fireworks could be going off on that day. So just take note of that. So if you feel like you are fighting an uphill battle when it comes to long-range plans, just slow down a little and dig into the mysteries of what makes you tick, what makes your financial partners tick, what makes your business tick, so that you can go forward in a positive manner. And this energy will pass, but positive ways to harness the square would be to create a dream board with your partner, or maybe join some kind of visionary group that can help support you in obtaining the long-range goals that you have. All right, with Venus in Capricorn, sextiling that Scorpio Mars on February 7th, again, I get the sense that some raises are possible. Passionate romance at work could take your breath away. And again, ruling over intimacy, other people's money, 401ks, inheritances, taxes. So you could be getting some information about an inheritance, for example. Okay, so on the 9th, you do have a wonderful opportunity for a fresh start in your long-term hopes, goals, wishes, and dreams, and friends sector. And a new moon is going to surface there in Aquarius. Harness some feminine wisdom at this time. The reason I say that is because the luminaries will be right next to Pallas Athene, who is a female asteroid, and she's got some kick-ass energy. She is smart, she's gutsy, she's independent, she's got warrior energy written all over her, and she really has ideas just springing out of her head. So you need to focus on what it is that you want in the long range. You've got lots of oomph in your chart right now to get where you want to be, so just focus in on those long range goals. On February 10th, Venus will be trining Jupiter and the North Node. So this has such a golden feel to me. Again, if you've been working on a health regime and you've had it in place for a while, you could be seeing the payout for that. Finding a way to be of service to the world at this time would be another way to reap great rewards in your life, because that 6th house rules over service. This is also a good time to rethink any work plans you need to, and just again revise the health regime. But up in that 10th house of career, you've got a lot of poise and calm and grace, because Venus is up there, so and Mercury. So you could be drawing in great work assignments, and you could also be rubbing elbows with some really powerful people right now. And since Mercury is up there and Venus is up there too, if you're being careful and precise with your words and very dignified and thoughtful with what you're saying, you could be setting the seeds for drawing in some big raises, especially if you've been taking those technical job classes that are going to get you ahead. On February 13th, Mars, which is again in your intimacy department, overseeing other people's money, it will also be sextiling Jupiter in your house of work. So one thing here I want to just say is I get the sense, again, there could be possibly a romance at work. You also want to make sure that you don't boggle up the notions of sex and power under this influence, because that Mars energy is a very passionate energy, and this 8th house is affecting both your everyday work atmosphere as well as your career. So just keep that in mind. And keep the big picture in mind when it comes to, what's happening behind closed doors in the 8th house. So on the other hand, this could be a really great time to work with a sex therapist if you feel like you have a need to, a counselor, or even a nutritionist. If you've had any kind of issues with intimacy or childbirth, things like that, this is a time to find somebody who's really good at healing who can help you. And with Jupiter in the 6th house, you could potentially draw that in. And one reason I say this could be important is I think of, again, childbirth with the Juno up there in the 8th house trying to have a child. And if you're having trouble, sometimes just working on your diet as well as stress level is enough to change things around from, not conceiving to conceiving, for example. So if you have any rifts in your mind, body, spirit at all that are somehow affecting you in your intimacy department, this is a great time for you to work on that and to reap the rewards. I love astrology because it just so points out the direction that we're meant to go in. So while your Mars is up there touring that 8th house in Scorpio, again, be mindful, sex and power. They can take on mystical and transformative qualities for you. And whatever is happening to you, I would say, because you've got that X factor going on, don't flirt with disaster. Power struggles, betrayals, psychological manipulations could impact you, your job, or your closest partnerships if you aren't being careful of the energies. And even if you think you're keeping a secret about a hot romance, there's always the chance that that could leak out and it could be revealed. And again, I say that because you've got Chiron in the 12th house, and that's the house of secret enemies, also self-undoing. Sometimes the mistakes we make, we do to ourselves, right? So just be careful. If you are a few of the unfortunate Aries rising folks, some of this martial energy could be about splitting finances with a close partner, be it a business partner or a lover. So if this rings true for you, you could be dealing a little bit with the legal system. And I say that because you've got that Saturn and Moon conjunct in the 9th house. If that is happening to a few of you, and I doubt that it's happening to very many, but if it is, I just want to say I wish you the absolute best as you move forward. On the flip side, that Mars could also be giving you self-confidence, a can-do attitude, and it could really be enabling you to muster up the energy to go after those long-term goals. So much of it comes down to free will, how we choose to harness the energies afoot. Now, whatever you've been working on down in that 6th house of work and health and pets, for example, a light is going to be shined on that part of your world, that 6th house, because there's going to be a full Virgo moon on February 22nd. And that is going to just send a big, bright beam of light called a trine right up into your career sector. So whatever's been happening in that house of work, whether it's a hot romance, good work you've been doing on your projects, or how well your health regime is working out, or maybe you're launching your alternative health business, that is going to really be lit up on the 22nd. So expect emotions to ride high, expect some sort of culmination. Okay, on the 23rd, all of us in the world are being asked to work on forgiveness, honestly, and healing. Jupiter will be opposite Chiron, and by letting go of the things that you need to let go of, you have the ability to inspire others at work and to be of service to the universe. Sometimes by healing our darkest wounds, we gain the greatest strength. And I know this to be true for myself because I've been through the muck like everybody else on planet Earth at times. Chiron, the wounded healer, is like the weakest spot in our life. It's like the Achilles tendon that just doesn't seem like it can heal. But if you can find a way to overcome that and heal that weakest thing, that then becomes your greatest strength. And that can help you to live an inspired life. And it can also help you to inspire others. And I have seen people overcome amazing odds and amazing things in their life to do just exactly that. So we have a need to heal. And think about that on the 23rd. All right, well, my dear little firecrackers, I hope you have an absolute wonderful February. And do remember, right now, you've got the X Factor. You've got the X Factor in your chart, and it's in a haughty, toddy, naughty place. So use it well. You've got sizzle, okay? All right, well, peace, blessings, and namaste.